Tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu, ambaye kwa hekima na wema wako umeteua nyadhifa za viongozi na mabunge kwa ustawi wa jamii na utawala wa haki wa wanadamu. Twakusihi ututazame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako, ambao umeridhika kutuita ili kutekeleza shughuli muhimu katika jamhuri hii yetu. Twakuomba ututeremshie baraka zako sisi tuliokutanika hapa, na utujalie kuyatenda na kufikiria mambo yote yatakaofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako ziendelezwe, na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Sergeant, ring the bell for 5 minutes. Next order.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, I recognize 10 students of the debate club led by Collins Otiende from Mount Kenya University, namely Ron Shavisa, Justus Kimutai, Morara Edgar, Timothy Nyangweso, Felix Ogendo, Vincent Otieno, Ruth Sophie Omoke, Johnson Kimtai Sang, and Felix Baraza. In our tradition of recognizing and welcoming visitors, I take this opportunity to welcome you all to the County Assembly of Nakuru. Karibuni. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
There are no messages. Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
There are no petitions. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
There are papers to be laid. That is the report of the Committee on Trade, tourism, planning, on the vetting of the nominees for the position of members of the county or of the Nakuru Cooperative and Revolving Fund Committee, to be led by the Honorable Stanley Karanja, Chairperson, Committee on Trade, Tourism and Planning.
Mr. Speaker, sir, my name is Cyrus Adidandegwa, representing the great people of Mount Narok. I'm here to lay report of the Committee on Trade, Tourism and Planning on the vetting of the nominees for position of members of the Nakuru Cooperative and Revolving Fund Committee. I beg to lay the paper.
Thank you. The Honorable Dinda, the Vice Chairperson, Committee on Trade, Tourism and Planning. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
There is a notice of motion from the same committee. So the Honorable Dinda, you move it.
Once again, thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I'm here to give a notice of motion that the House adopts the report of the Committee on Trade, Tourism and Planning on the vetting of the nominees for positions of members of the Nakuru Cooperative and Revolving Fund Committee.
Thank you. The notice of motion is properly given. Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
There are no statements. Next order.
Order number 8, resumption of debate on the governor's address.
Honorable members, you'll remember that in the morning session, we moved and we agreed that we're going to resume the debate for the address of Her Excellency the Governor to this afternoon. And so we are going to spend the next 30 minutes. And in this session, we are going to finish up with the debate on Her Excellency the Governor speech. And so the members are free to continue with the debate. And for clarity, the reports, not the report, but the speech is on your iPads for ease of reference.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I want to take this opportunity to welcome our visitors this afternoon from Mount Kenya. I tell them you are highly welcome. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I wanted to echo the address by Her Excellency the Governor during her address on 21st of February. I hereby support it because what she said or what she read during that day on several occasions, like sectors or health sector, I there support because for what she did in completion some projects which had been left behind, like BTH, outpatient, where she was able to spend about 780 million or to completion, the Naivasha outpatient, and some other level 4, level 3 hospitals within our county. And some others like Molo, Elbagon, and Gilgil. And some like Abasi, where she was able to refurbish about 15.1 million. And there is an X-ray she bought at Bahati level 4 hospital, and some others. So there, I support this motion according to what she said during her speech. The other issue was the bursary, for the bursary, because she had said that the bursary was about 110 million. At now, we are talking of a figure of about 377 million. We therefore support her speech, and we said it was a very good speech because of what she has done. So I therefore support the motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Soin. The Honorable Leader of Majority Party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I equally stand to give my support on our Governor's speech. And Mr. Speaker, I wish to start by thanking Her Excellency for accomplishing her constitutional mandate. Thank you. By accomplishing her constitutional mandate, by actually honoring to come to this great assembly so that she can be able to lay before this honorable house the vision and the progress that she has so far made in her government. Mr. Speaker, as we can all recall, when I look at her speech, it was actually cross-cutting, Mr. Speaker. It touched on each and every sector, right from the health sector, and which we feel really appreciated. When we look at the vision that Her Excellency has, as we know, health in this county has been in a state where the citizens of Nakuru County felt that they were not receiving the very best, Mr. Speaker. From the vision and the mission that she has had, the promises that she made in the past concerning what she would want to fulfill and achieve in terms of delivering the level 4s, in terms of facilitating them, in terms of initiating level 4 hospitals for the counties and for the sub-counties, which never had. Of course, we remember like Kuresoi North-South. We also remember Rongai, where earlier, as she took over power, she had promised to deliver a level 4 hospital in those sub-counties which had never had, Mr. Speaker. When we look at the speech, it captured the progresses that are so far made, and the processes are in the tendering stages, and we are expecting that these level 4 hospitals are going to start very soon, Mr. Speaker. On issues to do with the infrastructures, the roads, we've seen a big stride that Her Excellency has actually made through her commitment in the executive. We know and appreciate that very recently the rains came in big numbers, Mr. Speaker. It really rained and many roads were washed. We have not forgotten the crops that were actually washed away. We cannot forget also the families that lost their loved ones, Mr. Speaker. But despite this, we see that the governor had put some mitigative measures to ensure that at least Nakuru is able to come back to where it was before the rains, Mr. Speaker. This we have also seen through the Imarisha Barabara initiatives, where many sub-counties are really benefiting, and the impact in the Wanjiko, ordinary Wanjiko, is beyond measure, Mr. Speaker. We really want to thank Her Excellency. When also we look at the morale of the workforce of this Nakuru County, Mr. Speaker. When we came in, there were many people who were on contracts, very long contracts. They never had hope. They never knew what happens next. But even in her speech, we can see she has elaborated the number of the workers and the people who have been promoted, Mr. Speaker. We have also seen the entry of new employees in this county in terms of various cadres who have now been taken in. we've also experienced the renewal and the confirmation of workers, say in the health force and across all the other forces, Mr. Speaker. We know, of course, this had been the hot cake. We remember the various imbalances in terms of the workforces that have been there in this county. But Mr. Speaker, we want to thank Her Excellency because she has reaffirmed her commitment to ensure equitable opportunities for the Kenyans who live in Nakuru, by also ensuring the promotion to elevate our workforce who are demoralized because people had stayed in one job group for a very long time without a hope of a promotion, Mr. Speaker. We saw over 1,000 workforces in Nairobi, 1,200 plus, who were promoted, and I'm sure it gave them a sense of belonging and gave them a hope of even delivering their services more and more, Mr. Speaker. We wish to really appreciate the great work that Her Excellency has given, and also in her speech she has given a direction of many more other things that she expects are done, Mr. Speaker. I actually stand with my colleagues who actually contributed in the morning, that is one thing for the executive, the head, the governor, to give directives, and it is also another thing for these directives to be implemented, Mr. Speaker. We expect the executive arm that assists the governor in the service delivery to equally be able to implement the directives and to assist her in the vision that she has for this county. Because the visions can be enormous, can be great, but if the executive, the CEOs, the CECs, does not take their rightful position and ensure implementation of the same, it will be in vain, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, when I look generally across the whole speech, as I said, it touched and cut across. We as a people of Mosop, we are grateful for the consideration of the benefits of the promises that she made when she entered the office concerning Mosop and Rongai as a constituency generally, Mr. Speaker. So I wish to really support and thank Her Excellency for this speech. And as an assembly, we also have our roles to play. And I thank this great assembly for standing together with the executive. Most of the achievements that we have achieved, Mr. Speaker, is because of the harmonious working by the executive together with this great assembly. There has been peace in Nakuru, Mr. Speaker. There has been peace in terms of service delivery between this assembly and the executive. Between us, there has been clear and a good communication. Despite the many things, we have had a clear communication. We have had a clear, cordial, professional working relationship with the executive. We pray that this continue so that the people of this great county of Nakuru can continue to benefit from the service of an harmonious working that is well orchestrated so that the services to the wananchi are delivered. We were all elected, the governor was elected, we too are elected, and wananchi are expecting so much from us. So if we can implement and we can follow, and each part of this assembly and the executive plays their part, Mr. Speaker, I want to believe that the Nakuru County will no longer be the same again. Mr. Speaker, I beg to stop and congratulate Her Excellency for living her word, fulfilling what she promised when she entered into the office, and walking the talk. It is never easy, despite the difficulties, the lack of resources, the little taxes that we kept on collecting, and many more, the difficulties which we had when she came into the office. We thank her for the effort, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, the Leader of Majority Party, the Honorable Member for Lakeview, and then the Honorable Member for Kerrigate, in that order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, one is to start by appreciating this speech and by the governor, and appreciate the fact that she came and honored the rule of law, that she came to this assembly, Mr. Speaker. And as we have indicated, that those who have been given authority to govern the people, owe the people time. And it's not a privilege that people ask for, Mr. Speaker, but we need a plan. We need a direction as a people. when I look at the governor's speech, I look and I see a blueprint of her manifesto, things that she promised the people. Because, Mr. Speaker, we walked a journey, a milestone with her during the campaign period. It is fairly 2 years after the elections, Mr. Speaker, and many of us will attest that most of the things have started rolling out, Mr. Speaker. When I look at this speech and I look at the great milestone, for instance, when I look at the Keringate Sports Complex, the Naivasha Sports Ground, and the Afra Stadium, Mr. Speaker, these are some of the things that form the agenda for this county, an agenda that will propel the good working for the sportsmen of this county. Mr. Speaker, when I look at the trade department and I look at the modern market that we have been able to establish within our region, Mr. Speaker, I feel that we are headed in a very good direction as a county, because this government came into place under an approach of Mama Mboga, a bottom-up approach, Mr. Speaker. And as such, if we can do these people modern markets across the county, we shall be enhancing and seeing a proper way that the country can proceed. When I look at the infrastructure, I look at the many kilometers of roads that we have been able to attain, and in particular in my own ward, Mr. Speaker, I am proud to state that I have around 4 kilometers worth of tarmac within Rekville ward in Naivasha, Mr. Speaker. We have also been able to get some good things happening, that we have fishes roaming all across Lake Naivasha, because we have been able to refeed or get fingerings within the lake Naivasha and other dams and other small lakes within Nakuru County. If we proceed with this trajectory, Mr. Speaker, and honor the promise that we gave the people on 8th of August 2022, I think Nakuru County will be seeing the better share and fair deals in future. When you look at the country today, Mr. Speaker, from my own village perspective, you know, Mr. Speaker, I'm a villager from the village I come from. I feel that the people in my own village are very, very happy because of this approach, because when you listen to many people...
Honorable Member, you come from a village or a ward?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, you also come from a village, and each and every person here is a villager. So that's why I'm saying I'm a villager, and my village mates are very, very happy.
Honorable Members, Honorable Member, you're confusing this house. These are honorable members. So unless now you want to assume another title, the House is constituted of the honorable members.
Mr. Speaker,
so unless other members are agreeable that they are villagers or something. No.
Mr. Speaker, I'm an honorable villager from my village, and I appreciate that, Mr. Speaker. In real essence, what I want to say that development comes from the basic unit at the ground level, Mr. Speaker. If we can propel, it's just like education, Mr. Speaker. When you start from the ECDs, where we see in her speech, Her Excellency the Governor has made an effort to have so many ECD centers established, Mr. Speaker, within this county. And not just establishment of an ECD center, just as we read from this speech, and even from my own word, that we have classes built and equipped. We have ECD teachers today, Mr. Speaker, who are about to be employed within Nakuru County, and the adverts have been made within this county. Mr. Speaker, we also have a school feeding program, whereby you find most of the ECD centers, the babies within the ECD centers, they are right now taking uji or Lishe Bora within this county. I think most of the people within this county, Mr. Speaker, cannot even afford a meal for a day. And as such, Mr. Speaker, when you have a governor who thinks of her people, and more so on the young children that we have, it's overwhelming that you can remember to fulfill a promise that you gave the people, because that program of feeding the kids, the young ones within the society, will go a long way in ensuring that we have everything in order. Mr. Speaker, when I read through this speech, the only one thing that I missed out, or I don't know whether I spotted on, I didn't see, is on how to contain the disasters within the county, Mr. Speaker, and also on the effective way of management of emergencies within the county, Mr. Speaker, because emergencies strike us each and every day. Last month we had a disaster within Maimahio, Mr. Speaker. Today, we have disaster within Rekvi, Mr. Speaker, and within the speech, I cannot tell my people what address might be there, though that falls under disaster totally, Mr. Speaker. And we cannot anticipate for disasters, but we must plan for disasters, because disasters are meant to be there with us, Mr. Speaker. Even the developed countries have disasters. Today, Mr. Speaker, we are talking about one of the countries within African nations whereby a vice president went with a plane, and right now he's not being located anywhere. He's not even within the radar of that country, Mr. Speaker. And the president, I don't know this country very well, I'm not getting it in my head very well, but you find that it is a global cry, anyone to position a plane. So disasters happen each and every day that we are here, Mr. Speaker. So the question that we ask ourselves is, how well do we plan for disasters when they come? Because a disaster can fall on us each and any time that we get. Her Excellency has been very consistent in her speeches and in her doing, just as we saw her addressing the Akorino gathering, where the president and the chief villager was in Nakuru Boys, Mr. Speaker. And we enjoyed things that we saw that our country can now forge ahead. Mr. Speaker, I submit and support this address by Her Excellency the Governor. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honourable Member for Kerigit.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. I am Mutai, the MCA from Kerenget. I had given the good side of the governor's speech in the morning, and I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker, for according me this opportunity once again to give more analysis from the governor's speech. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me just pinpoint on some very important issue that the governor also mentioned, and this one is in reference to our speech in agriculture. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to really appreciate what the good government is doing on agricultural activities here in the county. Just the other week, the county was actually launching some very important services that will be provided to the farmers, that is the AI, subsidized AI services. And this one in itself is clear indication that for sure the governor is actually in the right direction in trying to assist the farmers. However, I think it's good noting here that going to the future and going to, and in connection with what the governor proposed, that she is going to spend 48.8 million in raising and distribution of, the seedlings for pyrethrum and avocado. I think that one is actually so much welcome. My only observation here is that if I got a chance to possibly tell the governor something concerning the raising of seeds, these splits of pyrethrum and the seedlings for avocado, you realize that ecological requirements for these crops differ from one area of this county to another. And in most cases, if the raising of these seedlings and the splits can be delocalized so that they can be done in the right ecological area, the better. Most of the avocados that we receive in Kuresoi South and Kuresoi North brought from Nakuru town, a place that is in the peripheries of Nakuru, a place that is very warm. And the soils here are not as the same as the soils in the other area. So it's my feeling that if this one can also be delocalized so that these seedlings can be raised right in those particular areas that do well, I think the better. And at the same time, we'll have also promoted the youths and the farmers within those regions to also have a share of this huge amount of money, 48.8 million. Another issue also that I noted is that the mode of distribution of these seedlings also has not well been addressed, because you realize that in most cases, they are just distributed haphazardly. They are not given in an orderly manner. If the Agriculture Department can really embrace this idea of the governor and come up with very good distribution procedures, the better. Possibly it can be done through the cooperative societies. Let me also say something, Mr. Speaker, sir, concerning the sports. I echo what the governor mentioned about promoting, nurturing and promoting the talents of our youths. And our efforts have actually been seen. And going forward, we as Nakuru County, we are going to achieve greatly on sporting activities. One area that should also be looked into is considering the original master plan, particularly in Keringet Complex Sports Center. Mr. Speaker, sir, when I looked at the words complex sports center, I think this word complex was actually misused by the governor in her speech. Because what I'm seeing at the moment is that it's no longer complex. It should actually have been Keringet Sports Center, as simple as that. Or possibly she would have added a word, Keringet Field, a Keringet Field. Because what is going on at the moment, Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to tell you, is not heading towards the center being a complex center. Because the original plan, as compared to what is going on at the moment, is not actually comparable at all. The complex is no longer there. There were some story buildings that were actually destined to be constructed. There were some wonderful hotels that were supposed to be constructed. But now as we talk, dormitories are getting constructed. Dormitories, I hope, Mr. Speaker, you understand when I talk about dormitory. Just a hall and some few cubicles. And that one in itself does not really give the real picture of what was intended before. The complex itself was supposed to take a cost tune of about 1.2 billion after its completion. But from the look of things, I think there is less consideration that is being put in place. As we even get into this coming financial year, I'm sorry to say that about 8 million shillings has just been allocated to that complex, which is actually a very small percentage as compared to the total cost of 1.2 billion. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to say that I'm really impressed by much of what the governor said. However, we have to pinpoint on some few areas that are supposed to be corrected going forward. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, the member for Keringet. The member for Malawa West.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Francis Kuria, born in a small village called Malewa, a small village named St. John Village, and erected by great people of Malewa. I stand, Honorable Speaker, to support the speech of Her Excellency, Madam Governor, and I would urge our members.
Honorable Member for Malewa West.
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
Was it important for you to indicate the village where you were born?
Honorable Speaker, I'm proud and I like that village very much. So I recognize it as a...
What is it? The
Point
leader
of
of majority
information,
party.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think there is a narrative these great honorable members are actually trying to derive and bring it to this very honorable house, Mr. Speaker. Outside, there is a debate of a villager, and my village is Kenya, and issues like that, Mr. Speaker. I pray that at least you save this house from bringing this politics of the village into this honorable house where people now want to identify themselves as villagers, the village Kenya, and I don't know which other village, Malewa, and another one from Ogilge, and all that, Mr. Speaker. I think it's a debate that is ongoing outside, and we would wish that this house does not bring the villager and the chief villager's politics to this honorable house, Mr. Speaker. I beg to.
Mr. Speaker, point of information.
On the villageness or on the same or on a different?
No, Mr. Speaker, I want to inform members that politics is local. And as such, Mr. Speaker, a village is so local that a villager is also a local person.
Honorable Member,
Thank
now
you, Mr.
you
Speaker.
are losing this house. So the Honorable Member for Malewa proceed without necessarily having to bring the narrative about the village. When you tell us that you come from Malewa West, that's enough.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. It's only that I'm usually getting proud of where I was born, but I stand to be guided. Honorable Speaker, I support this speech from Her Excellency Governor. And as honorable members and as elected leaders of this great Nakuru County, Honorable Speaker, we need to make sure that whatever is indicated in this speech, we all is implemented free, and as we play our oversight role, as we do our registration role, Honorable Speaker, we ensure that it's implemented to the letter. Honorable Speaker, Nakuru County is one of the counties that is located along the northern corridor, that I say from Mombasa towards Busia border, and it borders, or we have various neighbors or other counties that touches our borders. And when we look at our health facilities, she has ensured that we have level 4 facilities that cut along each and every ward, as she has indicated in her speech. Honorable Speaker, the road that cut, or the northern corridor that cut along our county, we experience a lot of incidences such as accidents, and when we have improved health facilities, these facilities serves not only the residents of Nakuru, but the residents of entire country and even the diaspora, Honorable Speaker. When we look at sports, she has ensured that she has improved the standard of our stadiums. That shows that she has a goodwill to our youth, where the youth engage themselves into sports, making them not idle, not engaging themselves or finding themselves into bad activities, Honorable Speaker, where with that, I really support, Honorable Speaker. When we look in agriculture sector, agriculture was fully devolved, Honorable Speaker. And she has set aside budget allocation for distributions of maybe, if you look at the seedlings, that is avocados, we have the pyrethrum, we have onions, Honorable Speaker. This shows that she's boosting most of our farmers. You know, Nakuru County, the economic activity is agriculture, Honorable Speaker. With that, she's supporting most of our farmers, where you find even she has or she's in the capacity to make sure that we have a distribution of raw price fertilizers, where it will improve the productivity of our farm products, Honorable Speaker. In education, in collaboration with the national government, the establishment of the ICT hubs, where you see we are in a modern world, Honorable Speaker, where we need our children to be more enlightened and to have a know-how and knowledge and to make them have a future, Honorable Speaker. With the establishments of these ICT hubs, we see or we find that we will have good future generation and good products of our children, Honorable Speaker. I raise to support this speech. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, the Honorable Member for Malawa West. I'll now proceed to put it to question that pursuant to Standing Order 28-4, the thanks of the Assembly be recorded for the exposition of public policy contained in the address of the Governor delivered on 21st February 2024. As many who are of that opinion say aye. As many who are of contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next order.
Mr. Speaker, those are the orders of the sitting.
Honorable members, this House starts adjourned to tomorrow 9:30 in the morning. Thank you.